Hey guys, and welcome back to Trekyards. He's Commander Cockings.
He's at a Foley.
And today we're coming up on 10 years, Daniel, in October. I'm just saying, we should compare all of our, videos from now to then and see how we look. It'd be quite interesting to do a flashback episode.
Well, in that theme, Stuart, I feel like you're at the perfect recording session with me, Stuart, because we're doing that today.
What?
But
with
for
us?
Discovery. Yeah.
Oh.
How did you know?
I don't want to look back at our old stuff.
That's why we're here.
You're not talking about our old stuff, are you?
Discovery, Stuart. Discovery.
Okay.
Because they did a flashback, but not at all time jump skip, Stuart, into the past, where the team of Discovery, I would say recreated, but they haven't changed the sets one iota, so they just used the set still, and they put everyone, we'll find out, in their respective hair, makeup, and costumes to bring us back into right at the start of season 1. Michael Burnham, of course, got the focus of that, but everyone is included. I commend them for going the full hop. So we're going to compare everybody to how close they look, feel, in the 7 or so years, because it was released in 2018, filmed in 2017. It is now 2024, so 8-ish years.
And if you're watching this after the fact, this is for season 5, episode 4, Face the Strange. So check it out if you haven't.
Pretty much. So let's start with the hero moment. We've got Michael Burnham. This is season 1 Burnham on the left, and season 5 being season 1 Burnham 8 years later on the right.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Burnham currently has giant dreads, which are incredible and very different to this. So significant change.
Mm-hmm. No, it was great seeing this. I was really surprised, actually, with everybody's kind of transformation back. And got to give the wig department on Discovery props, because, wow, that's impressive stuff. I don't know if it's probably the exact same wig, would be my guess, but
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd keep it for this many years, knowing you're probably never going to go back to that hair. I don't know. I mean, but also, I never thought this was a wig. Like, I know she changed hair between episode 1 and 3, but it looked so natural. I mean, that's the whole point of the wig, right? It looked natural. But obviously, her going from giant dreads to this, either one or probably both are full wigs. But that's some time-intensive process to, like, all that weight off your head and then this really crisp haircut.
A lot of women have short hair and just wear wigs every day, and you don't even realize it. So,
Keeps it consistent.
I'm not sure if that's the case with her. It's hard to do.
It feels like it must be, given the swap.
Yeah, it's harder to do with the cornrows, like the dreads she has now, because you can kind of see the scalp. So it might still be like a skull cap underneath.
A wig cap. A wig skull cap.
So
crazy.
I honestly don't know what's going on, but wow, I was super impressed with this. The only issue I had was she looked a little bit older than the present day Burnham.
I thought that. I said that, yeah.
Yeah. She did. I don't know if it was the lighting or what it was, but this particular comparison we have with her head angled down makes her seem younger again. So there's one in the hallway when they first meet her where it's like a little bit more obvious. So
yeah, it's amazing the performance difference that the Superman Green gave to both. The current day is more relaxed, smiles, feels open and free, quote unquote. And as soon as she reprised this Burnham, everything was very tight. Everything was a scowl. They pointed. It was amazing, the difference. And it reminds you how unlikable she was as a character in season 1. That
it's funny.
Reharnessed it. It was kind of an amazing performance shift.
Yeah, it's funny because when I watched this with Sylvia last night, she was like, wow, she was really self-righteous back then. I'm like, yep. She definitely harnessed that. So.
It was a very good, this is where we went wrong, look how far we've come, tremendous piece. But yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, the free-feeling Burnham felt younger, looked younger, but it is because there's a tightness and there's a compression. Like, anger's not a very youthful emotion, whatever. Like, it's the vibe, which, fine, it was several months into being a criminal, makes total sense. It's just fascinating to compare. But actually comparing here, yes, she does look younger 8 years ago, not radically, she looks tremendously, but I do think they probably contoured some shadows under her eyes to make her look more tired for lack of sleeping because of just being there, which I think is a big difference. But yeah, very, very hasn't aged much. Good job.
Yeah. And the other thing that stood out to me and really is noticeable in these pictures is the color of the uniform. I don't know if it's different lighting on set or what the situation is, but it's like that seems more like what it would look like in real life. whereas the brighter blues of season 1.
And this is obviously purple, even.
Yeah, I don't know why it's different. Different lighting, different...
Well, we're going to see this throughout. I've actively done what I can to brighten these images every chance I need to, because Discovery is not a bright show. And let's be brutally honest, there are very few close-ups of the secondary cast in any version. So I was limited in my choice, so I've done what I can to make sure you can see them. But yeah, very stark, the difference in the colour grading and the way they shot things. Season 1 is clearly much more contrasty, with a higher colour value and more of a thing applied to make it look a certain way, versus the current Discovery, it's much flatter, still dark but flatter, feels more true to life colours. I mean, I know there's a force field, she's in Lorca's office, there's weird lighting, but you can tell the difference between stylised and this feels like sort of reality. So I kind of commend them for getting the more natural touch, but yeah, like dark purple feeling to like this nice clean blue. Well, for putting out, I didn't notice, but I actually like the new old version better. If they felt crisper and nicer, amazing that colour hue can do that. Wow, good point. And I guess the lips are a little bit different as well. I think they're a little bit more bright, but that's probably colour grade as well. But yeah, very well done. And again, the hair to hair was kind of astounding. Let's go to someone who may not have changed so much. Paul Stamets, season 1 grump to season 5 not grump.
I love that was addressed too. I was a little bit more surly pre-tardigrade DNA. I laughed at that because I really comment on how he was in season 1 and how I kind of like that character as opposed to how he kind of changed. But I like that.
Yeah, and having obviously rewatched a bit of season 1 for this, his first scene is terrible. Let's make everyone hate him in the first 5 seconds. He obviously improves. It's like, oh no, he's not a nice person, and you can see by the scowl. Again, aged very well, because this is the difference between time-wise season 1 and season 7 of TNG. Even if it had less seasons, same number of years. So this is a very respectable what every show did. His eyebrows are lighter, but I think we knew that already.
Yeah, I mean he looks exactly the same except his hair. His hair is grayed over the years, and you can tell in this picture. I don't think it's just the lighting. He was more blonde and kind of had like a more youthful look back then. So. Small thing, but mine's done the same thing. Go back and watch all the old Trekyards episodes. My hair is lightened up too.
But again, very similar. Not much of a, but also shows how they kept his look consistent for 7 years. Like same haircut, because they're not going to recut that for that one thing. Because male hair a lot more. Like, that's not a wig, right? So that's kind of, and you'll see the males are a bit more locked in. Very very little difference. Good job. Now, Tilly, of course, has had a radical change in the characterization from being this kind of clearly an intent season 1 Asperger's, autistic person, entirely removed from that later on, now just a quirky, fun person. But yeah, season 1, episode 1, and the flashback. And given that her current hair is giant, long, and, to put it back in that bun.
Her hair was always puffy and curly red, but she did mat it down. They make a point of saying that in season 1, like her mom hated her hairstyle, so that's why she did that. And plus it's more in line with the military vibe of Starfleet.
Yes.
I was really impressed to see this one, honestly. Yeah, you can tell she's put on a few pounds in the face, but I mean that's not a problem. It's
everyone is different.
The hair makes it just. And she's also had that one mole removed from her forehead, which was,
you can see it.
Yeah. If you're not doing a side by side, you might not remember or know. But yeah, I think they did really good with this actually. And kudos to you for finding these reference images. Yeah,
I thought it was worth talking about because this is one of those things that we would certainly do back in the day for classic Trek. So I want to include it. Yeah, I mean the parting, like they might have forced to grow their hair. That's what grabbed me for this. Well, it's less neat. I guess it's a bit longer, but I guess it just didn't, for once, they didn't think to gel it down quite as much. Because look at season 1, that's so neat and lack of frizz. Season 5, it is very, very frizzy. Small thing, but they didn't put as much care into the being quite as perfect, but it's the smallest moment, right? But yeah, I think she's the most different of the cast so far, but that's what happens. Next, Ariam. Now, who the hell's Ariam, you might ask, and you'll be forgiven for not knowing who. She was a background player in season 1, as is most of the bridge crew. They are just background players. She was given one episode in season 2 where she was brought to the foremost, and an episode she got killed. sacrificed herself. So I've pulled an image from season 2 where she was the second actress, because that was the only time we knew who she was as a character. So I thought that was more appropriate still. And obviously in this episode they play on her dying, and that's a big thing. For me, had zero impact because we didn't know who she was, we didn't care, and I actually forgot she existed entirely until he pointed her out. But here is her. I can't have the same actress. I can't tell. It's a lot of makeup.
It's the second actress that played Ariam, yeah.
Okay,
the one that
good for her.
The one that played her in the one where she died.
It was Nilsson on the... it was Nilsson on the J. Is back. What do you think? Has she changed much in these years of 7 years of living?
I thought the makeup looked a little bit not as crisp, if I remember correctly. And here, looking at them, it's like, just finer lines, I think, for the first appearance. This one seems to thicken up the lines.
As odd as that is, I think you are right. I think it's just a little bit... everything's a bit bigger. I don't know if they would keep the molds necessarily from this many years, having been a minor extra, and then a one-off. It looks the same, but they just made a new mask. But yeah, the cheeks also feel less... there's different contouring on the cheeks. Everything's thinner and sharper than the original, I would say. This one's a bit more human, actually, I'd say. Probably more comfortable, given it's a one quick performance.
And again, the lighting makes a big difference because you can see the pop of those blue eyes, whereas didn't really get that in this episode.
I didn't even know she had any until we were reminded by this. And lips look less full as well, I'd say. But obviously a little bit easier when it's just a makeup. Now, Awashcom, I thought she changed more, but I don't think this is a wig, and therefore they can't exactly mess with this hair particularly. So clearly, they just moved it to the side. And that was her big. So obviously on the top we've got season 1, bottom we've got present day, and to the right we've got her past version.
You say that, but I mean they shaved the side of her head for the flashback, and then she let it grow in a bit for like
it's not
the rest
that
of the season.
It's not that different though.
No, but you can tell it's distinctly skin tone.
Okay, yeah, fair.
But yeah, I thought that was when I saw her, I was really impressed too. I'm like, wow, they went there, did they? That was awesome. So yeah,
but it shows how little they've changed her look. But again, if that's her real hair, that's not, you can't exactly cut that down particularly without radically changing it. So it's, but it is nice, yeah, how just, having it be all over her head creates a certain feel. Having actresses in Trek shorts, having them be a ponytail up, down, up, it does radically change your face. And so having it be up, tight, yeah, brings it back the vibe. The other one just looks more relaxed. And clearly the acting was like, I'm back to being a warrior season 1, grr, versus, hey, I'm Washcom, everyone likes me. So yeah, less radical than I thought, but still good. Now Detmer, of course, he actually has had some changes throughout the season. Shields is obviously, and I didn't go first 2 episodes because, she had full hair and it was a bad example. But this is her season 1, episode 3, with the 23rd century eye implant and look, which obviously, as you can see, so the left is the original past, middle is the flashback scene, and the right is the modern day. You can see the implant's difference. They brought back the implant. So we're comparing really the first 2 images. What do you think?
Well, the one thing I noticed for this flashback scene, her hair's a little bit longer, just a tad, but still the same style, so that's perfectly fine. And yeah, I'd forgotten how much her eyepiece actually did change, or not her eyepiece, but her side piece.
You can see the scars and the cuts in the old version.
Yeah, pretty impressive still, though. That's wow. I mean, I give them props, really, I do, because they did a fantastic job with this episode.
Yeah, I think this I've not really paid attention to her hair. She's only been in like 3 shots of this season so far with one line. So, but yeah, much longer. It's shoulder length in the flashback, and it is. I've cut it down a little bit, but it goes further than the frame. So obviously they had to cut her hair, or give her a really odd wig in the sense like that you can see the scalp. So I'm not sure how they did that. I guess they maybe.
I think she actually shaves the side of her head, but I think the longer hair might be hair extensions put in. She might have shorter hair as in real life, and then they add extensions. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe because it is like a good third longer in the current version, which does it because that is the look, right? So they had to cut it down.
They can do magical things with hair, which I do not understand.
Yeah, so that was a good because that was sort of non-negotiable. Looks a little bit older, but of course she's going to, and I think they didn't go quite as hard on the scarring. It's more subtle, but also lighting and such. But you wouldn't necessarily notice it. But she's like, can we not spend an extra hour on the makeup chair just for one close up to have just do it at 50%, you know? But yeah, they did the hair, good job. And we've got Reese. Yep. Season 1 and season now.
No difference.
No difference.
Good man.
In fact, he has less 5 o'clock shadow, actually. he's got a slightly better shave. Yeah, I mean, haircut's the same. It looks, yeah.
The bright blue of the old season 1 uniforms just is blowing my mind with all these pictures. It just pops so much brighter blue.
I'm more purple, I'd say. More, yeah. And you can see the color grade. Just the difference is just, I know it's a different scene, but like they really went for a whole different look. And Bryce, so you can see he's off doing something else in some other show, but they brought him back.
And I'm glad they did. I was missing him because I really like this guy. We did meet him in Vegas, and yeah, he hasn't changed at all either. Like, perfect. It's just, if you got a good look, go with it, you know?
But I'm wondering if they, you know, because obviously if he's on another TV show and they say we want this look, you need to know in advance if to come back with the other look. Now, you could probably, I guess, facial hair this in makeup, but it's quite a crisp one, or it's just a standard look. But yeah, just hasn't changed. And that is the entire bridge crew shown off today. Yeah, for the most part, people ain't changed. And the things they had to change, they changed for the the hair and the hair and the hair and the hair, pretty much. Yeah,
but very impressed. Like, I was actually shocked, and now comparing them side by side, it's really uncanny how well they did. So kudos to them.
Would have been kind of cool if they'd actually all changed their looks and feels over the years to then see a contrast. But they haven't. It's kind of the fun to see. These aren't like me picking pictures. It's just like the first picture I find almost. But it is kind of like the Janeway conundrum syndrome, where like each season is so specific that, you know, well, we need a flashback to season 2. Okay, the season 2 hair. You know who she is. Everyone else just doesn't change. But the hair of Janeway tells you where you are. That's all you have to do. Just kind of the hair of Burnham, which has changed quite a bit. So yeah, good job, guys. Want to celebrate the work and effort, or just put on your old uniform, as some of them had to do.
So anyway, guys, comment down below what you thought about these, and let us know if there's anything else you noticed or anything else you want to point out. Do it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and click notify so that you get notified every time we upload. It's really important.
And while you are here on the channel, you can join the channel via the join button. It's a monthly donation service that does what you need to do to help us do what we do all the damn time. Or Patreon, same thing, but on the well-loved Patreon monthly site, or one-time donations via Super Chat during any of our lives, Super Thanksings on any video, the little button for that, or PayPal, trekyards@hotmail.com. Any and all help. So thank you in advance for any and all.
That's right. So until next time, he is Commander Cocky.
He's got a Foley.
See you guys later.
Bye, guys.